If you're watching this as a playback, thank you for doing so. If this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. Welcome to Say It Like It Is, where we talk about eclectic topics that affect us within the Black community. So, say it Like It Is basically where we say it without filter, okay? People send me their stories to my email address at foodchannel1960@gmail.com. If you want to contact me, you can look in the description of this YouTube video. You find my email address, okay? So this is a story from one of my viewers, and we'll be looking at that tonight. What's up, man? If you can hear me, you can see me, smash the like button. Smash that like button. It's a bit of a late start, but hey, what's going on, people? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Let's get the show started. All right. Hey, I'm all right, bro. Hi, Samson. Hi, Fatima. Hey, drama-free chica. Sam, what's up, brother? I hail. Hola. Mbali, how you doing? Destiny, Western Goddess. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Story Time. All right. So this is somebody's story, and hopefully we'll be able to. Crypto Magic, I hail, man. Milo, what's up, man? So before we crack on, there's about 68 people online watching me right now. Now, before we crack on, now, for those of you that might have jumped in this for the first time and stuff, so, I have been bombarded with a truckload of requests for divination, okay? Ifa divination. For those of you that know, I'm a proud Ifa practitioner, and I am very grateful to Ifa. I'm grateful to Orunmila. I'm grateful to the universe that I am that guy. I'm a vessel of honor that's been able to help my brothers and sisters, okay? People have a lot of pressing questions, particularly around like partnership, compatibility checks, which is very important if you're looking to settle down and spend the rest of your life. I always say this, make sure that you don't pick, you don't pick the wrong person, because this is one of the fundamental reasons why people's lives take banana shape and all that, And what I'm trying to get at is, if you're still waiting to hear from me, please be patient, okay? I'm working hard through the weekend, through early next week. A lot of divination outcomes will be supplied to people. So a lot of people got in touch with me today, paid for their orders and sent me their details and their questions, what they want the universe to figure out for them. All right. It's amazing what this has enabled me to discover in the process. We're going to start the show in a moment, but I've got to say this. It's allowed me to, it's given me a bit of a snippet. I've seen so many people, what they're dealing with, baggages, humans, struggles, spiritual battles. For those of us most of us who are here, I believe we're Africans. So you understand what I'm saying? A lot of them emanate from the bloodlines within families, mother side, father side, and trying to suppress your spirit and all that. So it's amazing what Ifa can basically uncover everything and anything. All right. So if you're hearing this and you're wondering, so Ifa divination is basically Idafa in Yoruba language, where I take your details to a reliable custodian of the secrets of the universe, an Ifa priest, and whatever it is you want to know, partnership, compatibility checks. Is this man that you want to marry, is it going to be a reliable one? This woman, is this the one that your universal data set aligns with for the rest of your life? Is this guy that you're dating, is it serious to settle down with you? If you're contemplating on moving back to Africa, you want to go back to Ghana or Nigeria, is it the right decision for you? The list goes on. You're trying to go into business with someone. Do you know what the internal agenda of that person is? Are they the right spirit to align with? Should you give your money to Mr. X or Mrs. Y? You dig? It goes on and on. So if you're interested in divination, bang me an email after this live stream and I'll be happy to help. Okay? Foodchannel1960 at gmail.com. For those of you that are waiting, like I said, I'll get back to you very, very soon. Okay? Stay tuned. So, got my laptop here. These lady sent me this story. It's one of my wonderful viewers. This is what she's going through, and she would like all of the people. She's an African American. There's a bit of a cultural difference. So she said, Phrankleen, I want other people to hear my story and hopefully learn from it. So I'm going to read out to you now, and then we talk about it, okay? Piper Lewis, use the super chat function and he will shout out your mom. Yeah, come on, man. Piper Lewis, man. Support this show, man. Show your love, man. And then I'll give a shout out to your mom. What's up, Lionel? Right, so, hi, Phrankleen. I have been watching your videos since January this year. Thank you for supporting me. And I will always get something good from them. I appreciate that. I am an African American, 7 generations from here, and my husband is Senegambian, a Senegambian husband she's married to. We've been married for 7 years now. For 7 years now, I was 24 and he was 40. We have sent so much money to my in-laws back in the homeland. When we first got married, I was young and naive and didn't even know we were sending money. But once I caught on, it made me very upset. For the first 5 years, we sent 75% of our tax season to them. Wow. He had a car accident and he sent the whole settlement, about $3,000, to them. He sends about $200 to $300 every month since we have been married. Ramadan season comes and we easily send $500 to $700 for sugar, lamb, coffee, and whatever else. He bought his brother a car so he could do taxi, and it helped a little, but we still send money. Then he works hard, but he constantly tells me we don't have any money. Well, duh, you're sending our extra, which he said it's not extra money for us, but for them because they need it. Did you hear that? So the extra that could have worked for them as a couple, he throws everything back to his family in Senegambia, right? So, because he believes they need it. He loves that phrase, they need it, which then makes me feel bad, like I am being selfish, but I didn't sign up for this. I never would have married him if I had knew this. Fair enough. No one calls to see how he or us is doing or wish him happy birthday. They only call when they need something. Sounds familiar? And he thinks that's normal. He told me he's scared his family will go to the Marital and put a curse on him if he doesn't send enough money. But he has also told me they were here first, they will always be his family. Wow. That statement makes me wonder sometimes, where do me and his child fit in with all of this? This has been a sore spot in our marriage and even caused me to walk away and ask for divorce at 5 years. We came back together since we do love each other, but this is still a big issue. Now we have 1-year-old child together, and I really want to get a house to give her a more stable life, but he thinks it's more important to build a home in Gambia for his brother and his 2 wives and children. I have been sacrificing the life I truly want to live. I truly want, so that he can send money home in peace. I hope to figure out a way to make life better for me and my child and still stay married, but it's hard. I hope this can help another woman, especially African American women, when dating and marrying African men. Thank you for reading my story and sharing. Short and sweet, but did you get that? Do you want me to read it one more time? You got that, right? Give me a thumb up. Right? So, this lady, right, you got that. So I'm going to read it one more time, very quickly. For those that have just joined us, there's about 156 people watching. I'll just read it quickly because some people just joined, okay? Very quickly. So this woman has been married, African-American woman, 7 years now, and met this gentleman. They married when she was 24. He was 40, right? Said, we have sent so much money back home to the homeland. He's a Senegambian, right? When we first got married, I was young and naive and didn't know we were sending money. But once I caught on, it made me very upset. For the first 5 years, we sent 75% of our tax season to them. He had a car accident. He sent the whole settlement of about $3,000 to them. He sends about $200 to $300 every month since we've been married. In Ramadan season, like right now, he would easily send $500 to $700 for sugar, lamb, coffee, and whatever else. He bought his brother a car so he could do taxi, and it helped a little, but we still send money. Then he works hard, but constantly tells me we don't have any money. Well, because he's sending all the extras home. He says it's not extra money for us, but for them back home because they need it. He loves saying they need it, which then makes me feel like I'm being selfish, but I didn't sign up for this. I never would have married him if I had known this. No one calls to see how we're doing or even to wish him happy birthday. They only call when they need something. Sounds familiar? And he thinks that's normal. He told me he's scared his family might put a curse on him if he doesn't send enough money. But he has told me they were here first and they will always be his family. The statement makes me wonder sometimes, where do I and the child, stand? They have a 1-year-old child. This has been a sore spot in our marriage and even caused me to walk away and ask for divorce at 5 years, but they came back together in the name of love. This is still an ongoing problem. I hope to figure out a way to make life better for me and my child and still stay married, but it's hard. I hope this can help another woman, especially African American women, when dating and marrying African men. Thank you for reading my story and sharing. So that's the story. If you can hear me, you can see me smash that like button, right? This is one of my favorite things. For those who've been watching Phrankleen for a minute, this is one of my favorite things to talk about. So you can hear this. First of all, number one thing, there's a cultural difference here. There's an African American woman, and there's a guy, from mainland Africa who is a Senegambian. And so it's a shock to the sister's system because, of course, culturally speaking, she's probably not used to that. And this guy, this is what I'm saying, the playing God, it's like a curse on a bunch of Africans who live in the diaspora, okay? These playing God and being broke and, like I said, it's a mental conditioning that started from when a lot of us were going through formative years. So when you manage to travel abroad, there is that emotional blackmail that's triggers itself and keeps working in your brain that you must cater and provide for everybody back home at your own detriment. Here is another classic example. I've read similar stories in the past. I've talked about this on my platform. I'm not going to stop talking about it. Reason being This video might be the first video somebody brand new gets to watch on my channel. So if they're watching this for the first time without coming across any of the previous video, hopefully it helps. Hopefully it distorts an already toxic mindset and helps them see the light. Okay? How can you have a wife and a child? Okay? A woman you claim to love, she's good enough to be your wife, good enough for you to get between her legs and get her pregnant and stuff. And you're sending money, and then you're basically putting your family above her. This is your immediate family now. This is your wife. This is your child. Even, let's put the woman aside just for a split second. This man is doing this at the detriment of his 1-year-old child. How do you explain that? I had a friend who was going through this. She's American. Her husband sent 70,000 US dollars back to his home, but unfortunately he was sending it to a wife and child back in Africa. She had no idea. Oh, I'm coming to that. I am coming to that. I am coming to that. So, I think it's just plainly evil. And this whole idea of playing God, wanting to solve the problem of everybody at your own detriment. You have no savings. You're sending $500-700 with nothing left for your family in America, your wife. I think it's just plainly evil. If I normally don't get really abrupt when I give advice and stuff. I share my views and I kind of leave it. But if it's truly this way, I think that woman should jump. She needs to take that child and run and make you pay for that child from a distance. That's the remedy. She needs to take that child and collect child support from a distance. Trust me. Because it's evil. It makes no sense. There are plenty that look, man, I have people who are even a bit older than me that I bumped into, talked to online, send me emails I've seen in person, and they've said, Phrankleen, your videos have emancipated me. I've been bold enough to just cut ties. See, the message we're preaching here, we're not exactly saying, oh, you've got to draw battle lines with your family and stuff. Put your foot down and learn to say no. Of what use is it if I send the entirety of my disposable income, my disposable cash that should go into my savings, that should perhaps take care of my children, put bread on the table for my wife and kids and stuff, if I bang everything out to family and there's nothing left, of what use is that? Even me, myself, that goes out to break my back to work for that money, I've got nothing to show. And you get yourself trapped in that very evil and toxic cycle. Just so you can brag and beat your chest to say, oh, I'm the one taking care of such and such. And then last year, I digress a bit. I was in Nigeria for more than 3 months. Some of you know this. And I made a video when I got back. And this was one of my main observations. Some of the people back home, in fact, a lot of them, are a lot more comfortable than we diasporans. There's a code of conduct, a very rigid, solid code of conduct back home. They never discuss their achievements with you. You may catch them off guard. You may catch them unannounced and be able to see that, oh, this guy has built a bungalow. Oh, this guy now owns a duplex. Oh, he drives this car now. They would never, especially when you are in the diaspora and they are in the motherland Africa, they'll always tell you via WhatsApp, phone call, text messages, I'm broke, I'm struggling. Because why? Everybody's fixated on your Forex. Facts. playing God. And I've heard people tell me in emails that, you know, I take care of my mom and dad, my three siblings back home, but you know, I'm facing eviction here in the UK. Wait, what? You're facing eviction because you've got rent arrears that you've not been able to pay, and the landlord is about to kick you out. There was a case of a man that said, Franklin, I don't know if you want to talk to my wife. I said, no, bro. He was asking me, he was actually begging me, offering money to speak to his wife. I said, bro, nah, you need to cut out the foolishness. I don't need to speak to your wife. You're sending home about £700-800 a month to Nigeria, and your family are unable to feed. You're struggling. So the wife had enough. She was asking for divorce. And then you now want me, the YouTube guy, to help speak to your wife. Sister Miyama Binu, Joy for one. You're crazy. And I told him, I said, bro, man. There was a gentleman that sent me an email the other day. It was pretty random. He said, Franklin, I firsthand experienced some of the things you've been talking about on your channel. He said, for the first time, he traveled to Nigeria unannounced. Normally, he would let his younger siblings know that he's coming from the UK, so they will come and pick him up at the airport. You know, they know he's going to land so and so day. You know, everyone is expecting him. So he said, this time around, I decided not to tell anybody. I jumped on the flight, British Airways. I made an arrangement with an old friend, picked me up. I stayed somewhere in Lagos quietly, and I just showed up. In showing up, a few things were uncovered. This guy said he sends monthly upkeep to his younger brother, the last born of his siblings, and his wife on a monthly basis to support them because they got two young children. His own impression is they haven't got enough income. Guess what? Because he showed up at his parents' house straight from the airport unannounced, nobody knew this gentleman was coming to Nigeria, because normally he would have told them, right? Guess what? There were people sat in the sitting room of his parents, elderly parents, and they were eating and drinking, taking pictures without his knowledge. Guess what they were celebrating? They were celebrating the said younger brother's recent completion of a 3-bedroom bungalow. One shililo. They were eating, they were drinking, they were, you know, instruction had been passed. Don't post nothing on social media. They were doing the housewarming in their parents' home. 3-bedroom, newly completed bungalow. And this is a younger brother that he sends monthly upkeep to every month, inclusive of his wife and 2 children. You see how cold-blooded these people are? He said, Franklin, my knees buckled. Like, God damn, you know, like, so he walked in and they were caught off guard. Like, what's the party for? And he found out his younger brother, the last of his siblings, actually, one of his 2 sisters before him, one of his 2 sisters, right, has also completed a home, but they never told him. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, here's the best part. This man has no property in Nigeria. He said, Franklin, I have never been so heartbroken in my life. My mouth went dry. I felt dizzy. I couldn't believe it. Oh, you best believe it, brother. I've seen this firsthand. This is why I try to nudge people. I'm nudging you mentally. This is not like I'm on a parade of asking you to be evil. You've got to be cold-blooded about your finance. Sort yourself out. Nobody's asking you to roll your mom and dad in a nylon bag and put them in the bin. That's not the campaign. But it's of no bloody use if somebody's sending $500, $700, $400 home on every calendar month at the detriment of your wife and children. It's the height of foolishness. And it's even a major detriment to yourself. You see those people in the not so distant future, they will remind you of how inflicted by poverty you are. They will let you know that you are no longer on the same level as them. Oh, you can't chill with us now, you broke ass. The only thing you can show for being in America is your half-baked American accent and your little American passport. Over here in Africa, we are balling. This is a story for a lot of folks. Sam, Phrankleen, what color going about my finance this day? As you should, my brother. You can't be breaking your back in the West. I know you work hard, bro. I know your lovely wife, you work hard. You have an amazing family. Just imagine you're busting your backside, you're breaking your back, you know, to get all this money, and then you shell everything back home at the detriment of yourself, your wife, and children. Help me to make sense of that. Look at these women. Oh, they need it more. Let me just say something. Unfortunately, it's a cultural thing which is toxic. And this is not to make a blanket statement or to try to scare any African American woman that's watching this, to say, oh, maybe don't get married to our brothers. But I've got to be absolutely honest. You've got to be aware of this and train your mind. You understand me? You've got to be aware of this. I'm not saying, you know, because I know there are plenty of African American brothers and sisters that marry, you know, mainland African brothers and sisters, but particularly for women, like African American women, you've got to be aware of this. So if you're dating someone like that at the dating stage, ask those questions. Look at the demeanor, look at the body language. Look at their body language. So if somebody gets a bit defensive, like, yeah, my family, blah, 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 you know, this is just, so you should know what you're working with. Do you want to go forward with this or do you want to bounce? Because don't dive into the relationship and then you get slapped in the face by surprise. First rule of Survivor, protect yourself. Thank you, Zelenia. But people are so utterly, you know, just daft, really. I'm telling you, man, it's shocking. There's another one. I digress. Somebody was saying earlier about somebody giving somebody, you know, a husband married to African American person, sending home $70,000, and he's got wife and kids back home. These happens a lot. You know what, man? People might not like me for this. I don't care. Now, let's call a spade, yeah? In the name of you're trying to find your feet in America, you indulge in fraudulent misrepresentation, romance fraud, and then you suck the woman in. She falls in love with you. She believes you're single. She opens up emotionally, sexually, whatever. Meanwhile, you have a whole unit of family. You have a whole unit of family back in Africa, right? And then what do? You build a whole brand new life with the African American woman. You get her pregnant. You tell her you love her. 70K over 2 years. And they get your papers sorted. The whole family knows you. She goes above and beyond for you. And all of this is so you can get your green card, you can get your US citizenship. You use them. And then you think you're clever enough. You get your green card now, you get your citizenship now. Then you find an excuse, you try to slide out of a relationship. Some of them, some of our people, whilst being married to the African American women, you stylishly secretly file for your actual wife and children. You bring them into the US quietly. They start living some miles away from you. You go to them secretly, and then you're assuring the woman to take it easy. 2 more years with this African American woman. You create a bogus scenario of, oh, you know what, man, I've had enough of your crap. I can't do this anymore. It's enough. Please, I want to go away. I can't take it anymore. But that's been your exit plan. And then you dump them, and then you jump. Well, I got news for you. A lot of them they're wise now. They're sharp as a blade mentally. Because there is countless number of case studies. They know these things, and it's left a bad taste in people's mouth. It's built a lot of resentment. It's left a lot of cracks between our African American, brothers and sisters, and inclusive of, it's like a versus battle. We're meant to be one, but because there are a truckload of these stories, man. There was actually a lady that I know on Facebook that told me the same thing recently. Her partner, she went to Nigeria to marry the dude. I saw the picture. They took picture with the dude's family, mom and dad. They went to the church. She filed everything at the US embassy. She brought him to the US. Surprise, surprise. In 2022, she found out that some of the women that wore the same fabrics in the picture, that were pretending like they were the guy's family members, were in fact, the particular woman was in fact his real wife. That's a whole nother story for another day. You can imagine. AJ, man, thank you, man, for the super chat. Appreciate you. So this woman now gathered evidence, went guns blazing after this brother, took it to US authorities, and somebody told me recently that they've arrested him and they've confiscated his citizenship. Do you understand? They confiscated his citizenship. So I'm just, the idea, back to the story, I drifted a bit. I wanted to get that off my chest. The idea of banging out all of your money to the people back home is totally selfish. It's madness. There's a gentleman that I met recently, 52. He'll be 53 in May this year. JT, thank you, man. Thank you, JT. Thank you. The gentleman, we were talking, and he said, Phrankleen, said for 12 straight years, I was sending virtually everything back home. Said, I've got nothing. So he then traveled back home late 2021. There was somebody elderly died in the family. So he went home for the burial. The burial was around December. So he thought, I'll kill two birds with one stone, attend the burial, and then, spend Christmas, right? So there was an altercation between him and one of his younger siblings. And, he told off the sibling. There was like a mudslinging of words and all that stuff. And in the course of exchanging words, the younger sibling just said, oh, what have you got? Don't come here, bro. be running your mouth. What have you got to show for it? All these years in America, I can feed you. I can feed your family in America. You're a nobody. Bruh. I can imagine. That struck a nerve, right? That struck a nerve. He lost his cool. They were going to, throw blows and all that. Like, me, like, the way we say in Yoruba, me. And this guy, he said to me that he's 50, in his early 50s. He's got two other siblings between himself and this younger sibling. And the guy goes, "You are a nobody. You sat in the you start in the UK, nothing to show. Don't come here and be flexing your muscle. You are a nobody. I will feed you. I will feed your family, Oh, man. Trust me, that's one of the worst things that can happen to you. And this is the person that he put through university, sending clothings, upkeep, blah, blah, blah. The guy is making money from real estate. He has a 4x4. He's built a 4-bedroom bungalow. He's balling. All the regard and respect for his 52-year-old older brother gone down the drain. Guess what? So I asked him, so what did your parents say? He said, his dad said, look, you're going to have to be the bigger person and just ignore it. At the end of the day, he's your younger brother. Are we going to get him killed because you're upset? And guess what the dad then said? Well, maybe it's a wake up call, for you to do something about your life. You're not getting younger, are you? Before you know now, you're going to become a grandfather. And this is the same father, inclusive of his siblings and mother, the same people that he has been sending money to for donkey years. Do you get it? Oh, they will let you have it. Oh, they will let you have it. Oh, they will tell you, they will give it to you. They will go balls deep. They will rip into you. They will remind you. They will let you know you ain't shit. They will let you know you ain't shit. You get it? I believe that at the age of 52, there should have been certain boxes ticked in the man's life. You should have your own roof over your head. You should have certain things already sorted in your life. Tó bá ní, wọ́n máa fi bú ẹ. Franklin, I've been trying to figure out how to word this, but how do you even describe your kind of content? Why aren't there other YouTubers talking about similar things? Well, that's why we call the segment "Say It Like It Is," right? I just love to talk about the inconvenient things, right? There are plenty of great content creators within the Black community, I must say. But yeah, there are some really uncomfortable topics that people don't want to touch, like this topic. It's not new. It's not like people don't know. There's nearly 500 people watching. The problem is, because of our society, because of mental conditioning, there's so many layers to this. People don't want to talk about it. Me, I'm a nonconformist. I exist outside of the conventional box of reasoning, if that makes sense. So if I want to talk about something, I'm fearless. I'll talk about it. Excuse me. Yes, Lionel, this is an expensive black tax. It's insane. And another thing is, you see these cycle that we're talking about. That's not to say, oh, diasporans are not achieving, or plenty of diasporans are not doing stuff back home and all that stuff. But if you look at it on a large scale, Most people, man, most diasporans. And what this does is it ensures that a bunch of us are trapped in the cycle of poverty. Because, for example, look at the story of this guy, this story, right? If he is financially nothing to write home about, how can he create a financial springboard for his own children? The African American wife has a baby by him. He's not even thinking about the future of that child because he's monetarily unsavvy and obviously reckless. I'm telling you, man, there is the black tax, like Lionel said, and there's also the religiosity tax. That's another topic for another day. That's another topic for another day. Because whilst people are shelling money out, there is the constant dredging, there's a constant sucking out of their pockets on a weekly basis by religious charlatans. That's a whole nother ball game. These cycles ensure that people remain trapped. I digress in the interest of this conversation. Because I've been dealing with Ifa divinations for so many people that come to me for divination. Thank you, Andre, for divination and all that I'm dealing with. There are plenty of people that will say, "Hi, Phrankleen. I've been in the United Kingdom for 27 years. I've been in the US for 19 years. I've been in Germany for 18 years. I've been in Texas in the United States for 22 years of my life. And there's absolutely nothing to show for it." It's heartbreaking. I get the spiritual standpoint, which is why we talk about aligning with your Ori. Does the universe really want you to be in the United States? Are you called to be there? Does the universe really want you to be in the UK? Are you aligned with what your universal data set wants you to function as in this dispensation? Do you understand me? So these ties into, the very same thing that I'm talking about. Certain people, you are not able to see the bigger picture. The reason some of your families helped you to travel abroad was they had the master plan, they had the blueprint from day one. You were probably younger, you didn't see the picture. Your dad and mom probably conspired that, okay, let's send them to the United States. They distort your pathway in life, they force you to go to the US so that you can become that person that constantly sends on Forex. They dictate your pathway. That's the story of a lot of people. That's why you have the constant, it's like a financial suction. It's like a tube, a suction that's attached to the back of your head that sucks your finance dry. It's intentional. Some parent, because you're the firstborn, they sinisterly, strategically, dubiously, they put you on that plane to travel to the UK or to the US so that they can, thank you, Irvin, thank you, B. Irvin, thank you for the super chat, so that they can dump parental responsibility on your lap. They can have it woven into emotional blackmail and force you into that toxic process. That's why as soon as you fly 7,000 miles to the UK or 10,000 and beyond to the US, you become the brand new parents for your siblings back in Africa. And then you're mentally conditioned to normalize this life-shattering toxic process. Remember when most of us were growing, when you're growing in Africa, they've already robbed you of the ability to develop your critical thinking. They didn't even allow you to develop that part of your brain to think critically. So they normalize the toxic process. And then you grow through your formative years. You're an adult now. So when you go to the US, and this is not to beat us down as a people. That's why some of us struggle when you get to the West and then you meet an African American woman who's grown in an environment, regardless of racism, discrimination, or whatever, but they have critical thinking. So she's looking at your lack of, your poor financial judgment, if I can say. And then she's thinking critically and thinking, dude, you can't remain trapped in this cycle and expect to have a headway in life. How can we be a couple whereby you've thrown all disposable income down the drain with nothing left, and we carry out these process month in, month out, 365 days. And then you, because you lack critical thinking, you go into defensive mode. You start to insult the African American woman that, oh, you don't know anything about African culture. Oh, because in Africa, we love our family. Who told you she doesn't love her family? That's not love. That's heightened foolishness. Nobody's saying you shouldn't show love to your families. But you're showing love at the detriment of your financial stability, at the detriment of your partner and the children that you have both brought into human existence. And then because you lack, you also suffer from limited vocabulary in the course of your emotional outbursts in your conversations. You do not understand African culture. In Africa, we operate. Who asked you to represent the entirety of Africa in your own marital failings? Speak for yourself, bruh. Don't drag everybody's legs into that. I know I'm an African and I think differently. Don't drag the entirety of the continent into your BS. Maybe because you grew up here, you are just an African American. Oh, and the woman catches fire. Oh, really, motherfucker? This Negro here. How, man, say that shit one more time. Yeah, of course. Or maybe because you people are not used to, oh, is that right? And we are quick to call them names. Oh, Akata, oh, and all the nastiness. And some of you go ahead, you bring your mother. It's the same thing. It's part of it. You bring your mother, okay, you tell your wife, oh, my mom's visiting from Nigeria. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Oh, she's going to be here for like a month. And the wife goes, okay, that's all right. She's coming on holiday to spend time with us. Yay. And then your mother comes and, listen, Chantel, my mother has decided to stay in the US for 5 months. So you will be making her food and you take her to Walmart, you do shopping. She's like, wait, what the? So, excuse me? So, wait, what? Yeah, my mother and my younger sister are coming. So you must wake up in the morning. I taught you how to cook jollof rice already. Oh, so you want to take a whole adult who is set in her ways. Again, in fairness, critical thinking. She thinks, wait, So your mom's going to come for 5 months, and then she asks you a very honest question. How are we going to cope with feeding your mom and your sister on a daily basis? In our African culture, family, we stick together. Again, who asked you to drag the entirety of the continent into that conversation? These blanket statements that drive me nuts. So some of these people, the American gangster come out of some of these wives. These American gangster come out of these American women because she's an American woman. Motherfucker, I wish your mom will. Do you understand me? Hey, these American women, they don't understand culture. Nah, she doesn't understand BS. Some of them are the sweetest ever. I understand cultural differences, but where there is mutual respect, we can always find a common ground. The rest of the differences, we absorb it into the loving part of the relationship, and you can cohabit. Now, if she's absolutely crazy and retarded, let her go. But you don't tell someone, just like your African American wife shouldn't say, listen, Babatunde, listen, your black ass needs to be paying my dad $300 every month. Why? Because he needs it to survive. I'm sure you lose your mind too. You see how that sounds? But of course, if you throw a gesture of goodwill towards your father-in-law and you give him a gift or you show them kindness, of course, everybody loves kindness. Your African-American wife wouldn't expect you to give her mother $500 on a monthly basis. Even I can imagine any sensible woman wouldn't, if her mom says, oh, Chantel, get your Nigerian husband to give me $500 a month. She would, mom, bitch, you done lost your goddamn. You get it? So are you going to call that American culture or African American culture? It's just logical reasoning. Do you see? You know, so the world can be, our lives cohabiting and existing together can be a lot better. Yo, let's be freaking honest, man. A bunch of our folks, and am I sat here saying, oh, you've gone abroad? Let's call a spade a spade. You chose to travel to the United States on the wrong visa, right? You got into the system, reality slaps you in the face. You're trapped now. You don't want to go back to Africa. You now desperately want to find a way so that you can get your green card. But you soon realize there's a very huge obstacle. It's absolutely difficult. And you've left a wife and 2 kids back home. But it's okay. Before you call me all sorts of name in the book, it's okay, right? But you then convince yourself, you justify that it's okay to look at an African-American woman who is minding a goddamn business, and you think, I'm going to use this woman to get what I need to get, and then you lie to her. You start to ask her, hey, what's up? My name is Mutumbo. Mutumbo from Africa. Hello, Mutumbo. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? I'm all right. What's going on? Okay. All right, let me get your phone number, Mutumbo. Right? Do you have any wife, Mutumbo? Oh, me? No, never. God forbid. No wife. I'm single. Oh, is that right? But you had the blueprint, right? You... So, you lied to her. Mutumbo fools her. You get the key to her heart. She believes you. The whole family meets you. Hey, what's up, Mutumbo? Hey, what up, my G? Hey, Mutumbo, man. Hey. Hey, yeah, hello, man. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, me and my motherfuckers taking picture. Hey, welcome to the family, Mutumbo. This is my granddad. This is my uncle, Jimmy. This is David, my younger brother. This is this. They welcome you into the family. And it turns out that sneaky, ashy ass Mutumbo is basically using their daughter, their sister, as a springboard just to get his papers. And we wonder why there is deeply rooted resentment. That's one of the reasons, man. There is endless stories within our community. Let's say a group of Nigerians. The way I'm talking right now, there are some of you watching. They will, oh, what's this guy talking about? You think people are stupid? You think Phrankleen is your problem? It's the selfishness. You know, yeah, you got to do what you got to do, man. So you got to gonna get the papers, man. Oh, really? Oh, really? You play checkers with an innocent person's life. You get them pregnant. They have a bunch of kids with you. The kids, the first child is about 5, 6 year old. They then discover that you actually have a 19-year-old child in Nigeria with 2 younger siblings. And then you say, oh, me, Chantel, you need to calm down. Listen, I've been meaning to tell you from the start of the relationship. Oh, she's gonna pull out that Glock and blow that white meat out of your skull. That's why some people, they get to the breaking point, man, and they may just bludgeon you to death in your sleep. Like, God damn, all these years. Not justifying violence. I'm just saying. Some of you jump in there, they absorb you in, you benefit from their very good credit. Okay, I don't want my husband driving a raggedy ass car. Sheepishly goes to the car dealership, gets you a car on finance because she's in love with Mutumbo. Because your ass hasn't got good credit. You get everything. You use that woman as a springboard. You don't think to take care of her and pay back, and then you jump. You get those loans, those monies, and you jump. You destroy their lives. Plenty of stories, man. Plenty. Some of you, I'm going to say this segment is called Say It Like It Is. Some of you even, you take it up to next level of evilness. Because you know a date of birth, a social security number and stuff. You use her bank details, her personal details. You use it to carry out frauds. You use it to carry out frauds. You destroy them. I've seen this. I've seen this over and over. Because how do you cohabit with someone? You know, you love someone, you let them into your house. You know where your wife's passport is, their driver's license and all that. You take their details, you give it to your unscrupulous friends in the background. I'm not saying that there are no fraudsters within the African American community. Don't get me wrong, there are dubious African American people too. But I'm coming at this from the angle of my people. I know exactly why I'm saying it. You use them, you destroy their lives. You damage their credit ratings. You stop paying the loans. Because by the time Chantel realizes, you're smashing Chantel's cousin. Chantel's gone to the loft or the basement of the house to get the Glock. She's about to blow your brains off. You run out. This African-American woman, of course. Mutumbo, what do you think? What runs concurrently with that, she realizes that you've got another woman in Africa. She will blow your brains off, man. Then you run. You leave that woman with the damage. Don't pretend like you don't know what I'm saying. Don't pretend. Amongst ourselves, within, like, say, a gathering of black folks, purely Africans, there are no African Americans in the midst. People sit in barber shops, hairdressing salons, in your homes, in garden parties and apartments. You justify this BS. It's straight evilness. Oh, you think in 2022, as the years have gone by, there is sporadic growth of the internet. People read stories online. There is shade room. There are plenty of platforms that show this. People have caught on now. They can see how dubious you get. Name one person who wants to be unscrupulously used by someone else to just get their papers, use you as a financial springboard, dump you in mess, ruin your credit, steal your money and disappear. If you're here, you would like to be used like that, raise your hand. They use their wives' details to invite their families to the country without their knowledge. You goddamn right. There was a story of a brother that somebody told me. This African brother was a Ghana. He was Ghanaian with this African American wife. Yeah. You know what he did? Do you know what he did? Within the African American woman's family, somebody was getting married, and they had like a really posh hotel for the venue and for the reception and all that. He stole a copy of the, like the wedding invitation and all the details for that wedding. He was invited anyway with his wife, but the wedding was taking place within his African American wife's family. He took those documents, sent it to Ghana, used it to invite someone. Now, he had put, I don't know, I think the blunder was there were certain numbers on the invitation card. So the guy got the visa back home like he was coming to the US for that wedding, pretended like that person was a family member. And then at the airport, there was a random check and say, hey man, oh, this is your first time in the States? Oh, yeah. I have come for the wedding. Okay. If we call any of those people with the phone numbers on this invitation card, will they be able to confirm that they're expecting you? Yes, of course. So the immigration proceeded to ring. And then they rang the number. One of the RSVPs, right? The person picked up. It was a female. Hey, do you know such and such from Ghana? He said, this. Hell no. Who is that? From Ghana? What? No. Really? Can you give us the phone number for one of the, the couples getting married? They got the phone number, right? Do you know such and such coming from Ghana to attend your wedding? Nope, I'm not expecting anyone. Why? Long and short, they uncovered the fraud. So he got locked up. He panicked and he confessed that it was this guy who married the African-American woman that sold the invitation to him. He paid X amount of money. They looked at the WhatsApp messages on the phone. They followed the trail. This guy got arrested. I think he eventually got deported from the United States. How do you explain that? Why would you do that? If I had a member of my family that I would like to help, why can't you discuss that openly with your wife and find better options to bring them into the US? Why do you have to do that? Do you see what I'm saying? So when the wife found out that he did this, she ended the marriage, because it led to a major crack, a major argument and problem within the family. Imagine you getting married and then I get busted for using your wedding invitation unscrupulously, trying to monetize it to bring people in from Nigeria, and then you get phone call from the UK border force, and then you had to then tell them that hell no, I'm not expecting anybody from Nigeria. And then they trace it back to Phrankleen. Just look at the height of embarrassment. And Phrankleen is the husband of such and such. Imagine my wife then comes from your family. Just imagine the truckload of argument and the bad blood. Just because somebody thinks he's clever and he's just a greedy son of a man. Anyway, there are some of them watching me. Oh, they will have lots of names to call me. Oh, Phrankleen, if you were in that situation, I've never really liked the idea of abusing someone else's identity. That's not me. So that's why I keep on, you find me at the top of the hill. Nobody's asking you not to travel to the United States or the UK or Germany. Do it properly. If you slide into America with a visitor's visa and you're hoping to become a permanent resident, you're going to suffer. I don't care, frankly, you're exposing people. It's evilness, man. Oh, wait, you think I'm exposing people? I will bet £1,000 with you. If you ask any African American on this timeline, they already know about the scams. So I'm not exposing anything. I'm just having a very important conversation. You understand? I was in Clubhouse. If you know the app Clubhouse, right? I was in Clubhouse some months back, and there was this particular room where you have this African American black sisters. My goodness, I couldn't believe it. A lot of them that have been burnt by African brothers. Credit messed up. There was one, the guy took an Amex in a name without letting her know. I was shocked. And it builds a lot of resentment, which is not fair, because what these people, because they are very angry, they are pained, so they have a blanket assessment of everyone as everyone being bad or everyone thinking or behaving like that. Of course. I am from Jamaica and I don't understand about Ifa. Can you explain more about it to non-Africans? How am I credit? Forget that. I'll definitely deport you. People don't play with their credits, man. You know, it takes a lot to sustain your good credit rating, and it connects to so many the survival mechanism in the West. So if a dodgy person gets into your credit rating and they damage it will affect you so much. These ladies know these things, man. Of course. Once Phrankleen sees his eyes open, of course. But anyways, you know, that's me done. If you're gonna date anyone, it's not to scare you. I know there's some lovely relationships out there, but it's be alert, man. The cultural differences. But for those, my brothers and sisters, set yourself free, man. Don't let anybody keep you in that entrapment that, oh, you've got to shell home everything you've got. When you grow older, when the bones and the joints start to get brittle and weak and you're not as strong as you used to be in your 20s and 30s or whatever, the same Africans, the same families will remind you of how foolish you've been all these years. If you have a brilliant idea to own an acre of land back home, jump on the idea now. Start working, start saving. If you want to buy a 2 plot of land back home, you have the idea, start working on it. Hey man, we need $300. Click, click. Cut the goddamn phone. Focus on your vision. Get the land procured first. If you have the plan, the goal to start building your home in Africa, start now. Amen. We need £500. Click. Get your building materials procured. Start your building project. Amen. It's been 2 months since you sent us money. Click. Channel that money into your building project. We are going to curse you with all the evil spirits in Africa if you don't send the $700. Click. Channel the money into your goals. That's how you do it. I am your mother. You sucked these titties when you were a baby. I gave you a free access. No, mother. You had to give me access to the titties because I was a baby and I needed the breast milk. Click. Channel the money to your building project. You sucked these titties. Click. Channel the money to your building project. I'm going to let everybody know that as a baby, I carried you on my back. That's interesting. That's marvelous. Fascinating. Thank you for doing that. You had to do that because I was a baby. You brought me into existence. Click. Put your money into your project. I am your father. I paid your way through high school. Thank you for doing that, Dad. You had to. I need you to send the $700. Click. Channel the money into your child's trust fund. Take your wife sometime on a lovely restaurant treat. Go on a shop break. Make that woman happy. Treat yourself. Enjoy life. We get one shot at life. This is it. Your younger brother is waiting for you to pay for his... Click. Pay to complete that foundation in that building project. Pay to complete that foundation, raise the blocks. Oh, I'm going to need 100 bags of cement, 40 tons of granite, 40 tons of sharp sand. I need to work on the German flooring on these building projects. I'm going to need X amount of money. Calculator. We need 500. Right, Mr. Cement, can you please supply 100? Cut them off. Is all I'm trying to say. Cut them off. Ṣé o mọ̀ pé pẹ̀lú máa gbà àfi bí ìbá ń sanwó yìí ló mú ṣé o mọ̀ pé lórí ibú ọmọ ni ẹ́. Ẹ kàn máa ranjú bí òkú ọlọ́mọ ni. Click. Put your money into your project. Kó o lè jẹ́ èèyàn láyé, kó o má kú sórí mo ṣe, kí wọ́n má kú sórí mo jìyà. Kó o lè bẹ́gbẹ́ dọ́gba. I have to say that in Yoruba for my Yoruba folks. Kó o má kú sórí mo jìyà, kí wọ́n má kú sórí mo lélele. Èmi àtàwọn Ṣẹ́gun àjọ dé UK ní 1997 nígbà yẹn mo rántí àjọ gbé ní Shepherd's Bush nígbà yẹn ni àjọ máa ń gbé ní yàrá ni. In 2022 you ain't got nothing to show for it. Say no and sort you out. If you're a man, you're watching me and you're making your children suffer in the West, whether you are married to an African-American woman or not, it could be one of our sisters from mainland Africa, from Nigeria, Ghana, and you're depriving your children. You can't even buy them a box of pizza on a Friday and treat them, take them to McDonald's or whatever. You can't take your family on a day out because what? You're playing God, the people back home. Shame on you, man. Shame on you. If you're a woman, if you're doing the same at the detriment of yourself, your children, your family, shame on you. Try it. Let's play a little game. Okay? Maybe I should have a different show for this. Let's come up with who wants to buy a land. Let's do progress reports. Maybe I'll find a way to do that so we can encourage ourselves. Let's do a little game. This year, before this year burns out, what's your goal? Okay, I would like to own 2 plots of land in Nigeria. I don't physically have all the money now. I've only got $600 saved. Okay, I'm in the States. I have a lot of outgoings. I'm struggling. Okay, let's make a start. Can I deposit $300 and pay the rest monthly? Or can I pay it off in 6 months? Let's make a bloody start. Your auntie from the village died. We're going to need money for burial. Click, click. Pay for that land. So you have an asset, something tangible that you can look in your little portfolio and be proud of yourself. Stop playing God. Nobody's going to award you for doing this. It's a mental game. In the whole family tree, you are the only idiot that happens to live in the diaspora. Some of you men, it's so bad, you can't even take your woman out for a lovely meal. Let's have a quick weekend break. You know, you live in Texas, just travel. Let's go to DC. Just for 2 nights, you know, stay in Airbnb, have a good time, man. Get in that sugar wall, man. You know what I'm saying? Get in that cake, you know? Get the tongue in that cake, man. Have a good time with that woman. Let her throw those legs up, man. Get her in the spa, you dig? Blow her back out, man. Have a good time. Surprise her. You dig? These, you know, if being in a relationship is your thing, this is how you remain bonded. Get on the domestic flight. Get on the local flight. Go interstate. Have a good time. Go to a nice restaurant. Put a smile on her face, man. Oh, your wife loves this type of dresses, low cut, off shoulder type of. Give the woman a nice treat, and vice versa, right? It's not every time. Goddamn family. Have a good time. Treat your children. Take them to the cinema, the movies. Go somewhere. Go skating. Go bowling. Oh, my family, they need it more. They're not going to die. They are alive and well. Your brain is just messed up. We get one shot at life. Take your notepad and pen. Write down your goals, man. If you're blessed with a good partner, I love saying this. Some of you, you're blessed with a good woman. You just can't see it. Who told you? There are plenty of lovely, brilliant, loving African American women. Same with Nigerian women. There are good women. There are equally good African American men. Don't be an idiot and treat them like crap because you're trying to impress mommy and daddy at 40. My mommy, I love my mommy. Some of you have awesome partners, but you just can't see it. If there was Olympics for retardedness, you would clear all the goddamn medals. You are that stupid. You just can't see it. My mommy comes first. My mommy, your wife. Yes, hello, she's African American. She's not Nigerian, but out of love, she's trying to cook jollof rice to make you happy. Okay, some of the seasonings are kind of leaning to the left. She didn't fry the base pepper properly. I get it. correct her with love. Oh, babe. That's an awesome attempt. The reason that didn't come out as desired is because you didn't fry the base tomato sauce properly. Oh, you could have left it a bit longer, but it's okay. I love you anyway. Next time we go through the steps together. You can put that in the bin. I tell you, I'll get the Chinese takeaway. It's okay. You pull out to yourself, you give her a lovely kiss. That's amazing. Not my no. This is really bad. You African Americans cannot cook jollof rice. If you come to Nigeria and you eat my mother's jollof rice, and she'll be like, really, Negro? Really? Do you see? Because you are absolutely insensitive. My mother would teach you, she's a better chef. I don't know the type of food you people eat in really? Really, dude? Really? Oh, the mac and cheese that you people eat all the time is not really, I think it's rubbish. Oh, really? It's a mac and cheese and all that. It's a cultural thing. If it's not something you're used to, let her eat it. Let her enjoy it. Don't insult her because she likes mac and cheese. She grew up on that. You don't expect her to dive into pounded yam and eforiro. Oh, my mom. I wish my mom was here with us. My mom would have gotten in that kitchen and make me my best soup. Wow. Negro, why go get married to your mom then? What's you? Thank you, brother. Can't believe I'm not deal with Smith, Carl. I did. Hey, man, that's me done. It's been an amazing session. Thank you for lending me your eyeballs and eardrums. It's been an amazing session. If you want to get in touch about Ifa divination and you're interested in it, like I said, compatibility checks and all that stuff, get in touch with me, man. All right. Thank you for the super chat. Bang me your emails. My email address is in the description of this video. Follow me on Instagram at Phrankleen, as it's spelt on my YouTube channel. Thank you, Iya Kaku. Thank you very much. And hopefully I might come back on tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow, Saturday. All right. Gail, what's up, Gail? Thank you very much. Appreciate you, sister. Peace and love, man.